What's up, everybody? It's Why We Love Horror Trivia. I'm JWMaher. That's Aaron Brooks. The gentleman in front of Aaron is Asher Brooks. But how are you guys doing today?
Good. Hello, away from Asher. Very good. Welcome. This is the second video on the channel. It's his old hat at this point. But I'm excited to be here for this match. It's going to be a close one. Close in levels of confidence, close in ability, I'd say as well. Close in like horror fandom, I'd say too. Maybe Anthony's a little more of a horror, but we don't do that here. We all love horror. So
yeah, you're allowed to not even like horror and play here.
Yeah, how are you doing, John?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, we're excited for this match. We've dubbed it Confidence Bowl 2026. Both these gentlemen always very surprised when they win matches, even though one of them is a title holder here in the league. And we'll talk to him first, the most surprised gentleman I've met. Anthony Tisdall, one half the team's champion, Anthony Tisdall. How you feel?
This should be interesting. I feel good. I'm here. Last week was a very long week, hard week. This week has just been a long week. I got my sister-in-law's wedding on Saturday. I just need her to be calm for a day. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Will's a good player, but he might have less confidence than I do this year in things, which is wild to say. I'm trying to be better this year. That's my goal, to have confidence, because somehow Luis carried me to a team's championship. And that just shows how goddamn good he is. But I don't know. This should be good. I'm intrigued. I haven't played Will on anything in a very long time. So this should be interesting.
Yeah, Luis on fire this year. We'll see him eventually down the road once somebody qualifies to play him. But he's just sitting pretty. But your opponent today probably has some words. Yeah. Will Cohen, what do you have to say about your confidence?
So I don't know what the hell you're on about here, John. I am very confident in several things here. I am very, very confident. At some point, I was given a blood transfusion from Paul Rudd. I am very confident that there are no Alvin the Chipmunks questions in this match today. And I am very, very confident in my opponent's abilities. So I don't know what else to say. Let's just have some fun.
Okay, we will have fun. 3 rounds of horror trivia. Round number 1 will be the general whiteboard round, just general trivia questions. We've curated a bunch of questions, and I've started to do the thing where if the category is in round 2, you won't see it in round 1. That's how we do it here. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. There's still plenty of categories to choose from, and none of them are about a television show. So I would ask you the questions. You have 15 seconds to write your answers down on your whiteboards. At the end of 15 seconds, I'll call on you one at a time. You'll show your answer. You'll say your answer. If you get the question right, you get 1 point. If you get all 8 questions right, there is a 9th bonus question. And for the duration of the match, both of you guys have 3 repeats of the challenge. Any questions before we get started? Nah. Then we'll get started with not necessarily Anthony's favorite category, but definitely his favorite question type. In psychological thrillers, who directed The Long Walk?
God damn it. Couldn't have been any other anything, any plot question. God damn it.
Plot questions coming up, I promise.
I would hope so.
And the Asher cameo is over. Aww. Asher will be off screen playing with his toys.
5, 4, 3, 2.
He's here for the pregame speech anyways.
Pens down, Anthony.
You know I don't know.
All right, Will.
I mean, it's another YA film, so of course it's Francis Lawrence.
It is Francis Lawrence, yes. Francis Lawrence of other YA movie fame. Yes. Aaron will ask you this next question.
All right, question number 2 in body horror. You'll find the characters Bianca Oblivion, Barry Convex, and Nikki Brand in what 1980s body horror movie? I'd say consider it a film, if you will.
You can call it a film. Go right ahead.
And we are not sponsored by Pepsi Probiotic Soda.
Oh. It's prebiotic.
Prebiotic. Oh, sorry.
It doesn't promote my biome. It just adds to it.
Oh, cool. 5, 4. That sounds like body horror in and of itself. 3, 2. It's soda, but it's good for you. Okay. 0.
Rondo?
I don't know. I just said the stuff. I wasn't sure.
And Anthony.
Videodrome?
It is Videodrome.
I forgot the name of that for a while.
How can you forget?
Your third question. In sci-fi horror, the opening scene of A Quiet Place Part 2 takes place at what type of event?
Now we're back to movies.
Hey.
stink. The new day or whatever is fine.
Day one, yeah.
Day one?
They're all pretty good.
The first one, the best thing about it was the trailer, just like Ready or Not, where the best thing about it's the trailer, and then it was just a downfall in quality from there. And don't get me started on Ready or Not 2, because I finally was forced to watch that with Abby. My God, what an abomination.
Oh my goodness. These harsh words, pens down. Anthony.
Baseball game.
And Will.
Oh, is it a baseball game?
They're at a Little League baseball game. That is correct.
Wow. Okay, cool.
All right. Question number 4 in animal and nature survival. What 1990s animal attack film features performances from Emily Mortimer, Tom Wilkinson, and Val Kilmer not as AI?
It really is him.
Definitely is cashing checks on her dead father's behalf. He's fine with it. She sucks. Just like Ready or Not 2. But a little worse. 5, 4, respect your parents, dead or alive. 3, 2, 1, Will.
I said The Island of Dr. Moreau.
All right. And Anthony.
I guess it's a bear attack thing, but I don't know what it is.
It looks like it came around the same time. It's The Ghost in the Darkness.
That was the other one I was thinking.
Oh, I would never. I forgot that's horror-ish.
Yep.
It does happen. You're next in folk horror. What is the main export of the island Edward travels to in 2006's The Wicker Man? What they make there?
I wonder.
If you've seen it, you probably know. 5.
And if you haven't, you probably
3,
know.
2, 1. He definitely has a run-in with the mechanism, Anthony.
It's weird how there's so many bees and they might transport honey.
And Will.
Not the bees, honey.
Honey is correct.
Okay.
And I don't know if Aaron's there, but I'll just keep going. In Oscar nominees, who plays Inspector Francis Aberline in 2010's The Wolfman? I saw this for the first time a few weeks ago, actually. You'd think I would have seen it earlier. It's all right. I mean, like, once you settle into the movie, it's like you know what you're getting.
Yeah, I guess.
Van Helsing's like slightly better.
I still love it. It's bad,
Too.
But
it's the same concept, just CGI monsters fighting.
Sorry.
Anthony.
Hugo Weaving.
And Will.
Hugo Weaving.
Oh,
I forgot that was Will's. That was
Yeah, I now have
Aaron's
Orlok.
question.
No,
Orlok. Aaron, you can ask this one.
All right, great. And Monsters and Other Beasts. No Shelter by Rage Against the Machine was released on the soundtrack of what 1998 monster movie? That was this isn't a hint because I owned a lot of 1998 monster movie soundtracks, but I own this one. And it introduced me to a particular Puff Daddy song that I thought was originally by him. I didn't know it was.
Hints.
I feel much better about my answer now.
Yeah, relax, Diaz.
They're not done rating. They've been done rating.
Yes, I am.
Well,
and this was preceded by a Ben Folds song on the soundtrack too.
That's true.
Godzilla.
That's true. Really good song.
I was thinking about Brain Stew the whole time. Godzilla.
It was on my CD changer. I can't
This is a
help
fucking banging
Godzilla is
soundtrack.
correct.
Great soundtrack.
I also had
Shitty.
Chumbawamba's CD on that changer. It was just the best.
Your final question in world horror. What is the time limit before the communication becomes dangerous in Talk to Me?
YouTube horror really coming on strong here.
I love these guys. They're 2 for 2 in my book.
They're pretty good. Yeah. I like the second go around a little more. But
that's
totally
fair take.
Yeah, this was supposed to be better than it was for me. I don't know why I just didn't quite nail it.
2, and we'll start with Will.
I don't know. I said 1 hour.
Jesus Christ. Anthony.
I still think I'm way too long, and I said 5 minutes.
You are way too long. 90 seconds.
Damn,
90 seconds.
Okay.
This is hell they're in, people.
They're opening a portal to the other side. At the end of round number 1, we are tied 5-5. As we go into round number 2, which is the wheel round. Prior to the match, both these guys gave me 2 strengths apiece. That'll account for 4 of the 8 slices on the wheel. The other 4 slices, they just picked categories they'd like to see, and out of the choices they gave, I picked the 4 most popular ones. So all 8 of those categories in the wheel. We're tied, but Will has a better record overall, so he will choose the order of play in the round. Don't shake your head. Top 10 player.
That'd
Will choose the order of play in the round. If it's your turn to spin, you spin the wheel. If you get what you like, you can keep it. If not, you get one respin. Between those two spins, you'll get a category. In that category, you get 5 2-point questions. If you don't know the answer right away, multiple choices available. That will devalue the question to 1 point. If you give me an incorrect answer at any point in time, your opponent can steal for the current point value of the question. And if you opt for multiple choice, I can give you 2 repeats of the options. Let's bring in the old wheel from wheeldecide.com, but we don't have ads like other channels do because I use an ad blocker like an adult.
All
right. The categories in the wheel, Will. We got the 2000s, the 2010s, Guillermo del Toro directed horror comedies, the Leprechaun franchise, rom-com horror post-1989, Samara Weaving acted, and slashers. Do you want to spin first or defer?
I'll be a bitch and defer. Why not?
All right.
Bad
Anthony.
I totally forgot what your strengths were until this moment.
You're
Those are
gonna
very
find-
creative. I like it.
You get horror comedies. Do you want to keep that?
will definitely keep that.
All right.
If I get rom-com horror, but
Now, I will caution Aaron that they do count Scream as a horror comedy. So, I don't know. Do you want to ask these questions?
Yeah, I'll ask him because we're never gonna ask Scream outside of the Scream category, unless we really have to.
then here comes the screen.
I'm just kidding. Now John's gonna do it. See, John's gonna now do it despite me. Go ahead.
Here's
I'll
your
ask
first
the
question.
questions anyways. At the end of Krampus, which is not a Scream movie, it is revealed this family survives, but is trapped inside of what Christmas item?
Snow globe.
Yeah, it's correct for 1 point. I'd say a snow globe is a winter item. 2 points.
2 points.
Yeah. But whatever. Hanukkah,
Yeah.
we have snow globes.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, let's throw this question out then.
Yeah. Well,
No. I love it. Great question.
All right. Yeah. Question for, number 2. Who plays Frank, the previous owner of the home in Barbarian, not a Scream movie?
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are A, Julian Sands, B, Stephen Ogg, C, Richard Brake, D, Jeffrey Combs.
I'm going to go with the only name I know, and that's Jeffrey Combs.
Well, we're offended on behalf of many.
Yeah.
Incorrect for 1 point, Will. A, Julian Sands, B, Stephen Ogg, C, Richard Brake, D, Jeffrey Combs.
Richard Brake.
Richard Brake is the one we're offended on behalf of, and that is correct.
I'm offended on behalf of all of them.
Okay.
Julian
Well,
Sands.
I don't know who 3 of them are.
Who's Stephen Ogg?
I don't
Stephen Ogg, he's the guy from Dark Match, and he was on Lost.
I'm okay not knowing him. I'm cool
Okay.
with that. The other 3 are legit. All right, next question. What the stage name of the youngest, smallest member of Sasha Boys who raps in K-pop Demon Hunter?
You're going to be multiple.
Multiple? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple choice options. A, Abby Sasha. B, Baby Sasha. C, Mystery Sasha. D, Romance Sasha.
I don't know. Baby Sasha makes sense.
Baby Sasha is correct for
Okay.
1 point. Our first K-pop Demon Hunter question.
I mean, that movie's a banger, so.
Question number 4 in the category. Who directed Frankenhooker?
Multiple choice.
Our favorite kind of questions. A, Frank Henenlotter. B, William Lustig. C, Charles Band. D, Jim Wynorski.
Fuck. Tried D once, it didn't work. Let's try D again.
It's not going to work again. A, Will for 1 point still. A, Frank Henenlotter. B, William Lustig. C, Charles Band. G, Jim Wynorski.
These are great multiple choice options, by the way, I just want to say.
Yes.
If I do say so myself.
Answer in
I'm
5.
going to say William Lustig.
Incorrect. The answer is Frank Henenlotter.
Of
Also,
course it is.
yeah, of basket case fame.
Oh, like
And brain damage. And here's your final question.
Yes, brain damage, even more important. How is Barbara, the realtor, killed in The Monkey?
multiple choice.
Multiple choice options are A, electrocuted, B, impaled, C, falls to her death, D, shot.
Which one was she? Which one was she? Impaled.
That is incorrect. Over to
Fuck.
the 1 point steal. A, electrocuted. B, impaled. C, falls to her death. D, shot.
She shot.
She is shot. That is correct
Okay.
for the 1 point steal.
The one time he doesn't guess D.
Yeah. That's how
Yeah,
I feel from this.
Specifically, it's when she opens the door and the shotgun like falls over and shoots
That's
her.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't gonna remember that.
All right, we'll bring the old wheel back for Will. Will, here's your first spin. And looks like a free respin.
Try again.
Chico.
Well, at least I know.
Sorry, I thought it was muted. Sorry.
And you get the 2000s. You want to keep that or spin again?
Let's go ahead and spin again. Why not?
Category must take.
All right.
Stop.
Is a respin. All right.
Respin. Someone was getting horror comedies
This
today.
wheel wants horror comedies. And it's
Or
2000.
2000s.
Okay.
All right. What a great wheel.
Yeah, either way, we were both getting what we got, no matter what.
Yeah. Well, I'll ask you your questions in the 2000s. Here's
Sure.
your first question. How do the cannibals get Jesse and the others out of the Ranger Tower in Wrong Turn?
Haven't seen this in theaters. Multiple choice.
A, chop down one of the supports. B, set it on fire. C, ram the main pillar with their truck. Or D, shoot arrows in all the windows.
So many great options. I'm going to say C like Charlie.
C is incorrect. Chance for a 1 point steal, Anthony. Is it A, chops down one of the supports? B, set it on fire. C, ram the main pillar with their truck. Or D, shoot arrows in all the windows.
They set it on fire.
They do set it on fire.
Then Bill for some reason does a back dive out of the fucking window.
Your second question. What does Sarah use to wound Juno before leaving her behind in the cave at the end of the descent?
Multiple choice.
A, a crawler's claw. B, a climbing axe. C, a diver's knife. Or D, a tent spike.
A tent spike.
That is incorrect, Anthony. Chance for a 1 point steal. Is it A, a crawler's claw, B, a climbing axe, C, a diver's knife, or D, a tent spike?
I believe it was a climbing axe.
It is a climbing axe. That is correct. Well, your third question.
Mm-hmm.
Who directed 2003's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and 2009's Friday the 13th?
Multiple choice. Fuck.
All right. Is it A, Alexandra Aja, B, Ronnie Yu, C, Marcus Nispel, or D, Rupert Wainwright?
Marcus Nispel.
That is correct for 1 point.
Okay.
Here is your next question. In the village, what century are the people within the village told it is?
What century?
Five.
Multiple choice. I don't remember.
A, the 17th century, B, the 18th century, C, the 19th century, or D, the 20th century?
The 18th century.
That is incorrect. Chance for a 1 point steal, Anthony. Is it A, the 17th, B, the 18th, C, the 19th, or D, the 20th?
17th?
Also incorrect. It's the 1800s or the 19th century in the village.
Sure.
And your final question in the 2000s. Who plays Marlowe, the lead vampire in 30 Days of Night?
Wow. None of the movies I have seen within the last 20 years. Multiple choice.
Is it A, Danny Houston, B, Michael Ironside, C, Clancy Brown, or D, William Sadler?
Danny Houston.
That is correct for 1 point. At the end of round number 2, Anthony's in the lead, 10-9, as we go into round number 3, which is the synopses round. Prior to the match, both sides gave me their top picks for synopses. Out of all the picks they gave me, I chose the top 6 choices. They're in a pool. The player that is trailing, that being Will choose out of these 6 categories to take a 2-point synopses question. Play will progress as players go through 2, 3, and 5-point synopses questions. If at any time the lead changes hands, the now trailing player will take control of the remaining categories in the pool. Once you choose a category, it cannot be chosen again. Play ends when I ask 6 of these things or somebody is mathematically eliminated. So, Will, you can choose from the 2000s. Is that even correct? The 2000s, the 2010s. That is correct. 2020s, horror comedies, slashers, and vampires and werewolves. What would you like for a 2-point question?
We'll do 2020s. Why not?
Recent ones. Aaron will ask you this question.
All right. Barbara Walters for 2 points. A young athlete descends into a world of terror when he's invited to train with a legendary champion whose charisma curdles into something darker.
Him?
That is the Why We Love Horror approved Him.
Yes, we love that movie here.
It should be on the back of the goddamn Blu-ray.
Yikes.
We will take 2020s out of the pool and we'll talk to Anthony. Anthony, categories you can choose from. We got the 2000s, the 2010s, horror comedies, slashers, vampires, and werewolves. What would you like for a 2-pointer?
I'll go slashers.
Slashers for 2. Here's your first question. 20 years after a tragedy claimed the lives of 5 minors, Harry Warden returns for a vengeful massacre among teen sweethearts. Name that movie.
My Bloody Valentine.
That is correct for 2 points.
Banger.
It is.
Yes. One of the top non-franchise slashers of the 1980s. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take slashers off the wheel, and we'll go back over to Will for his 3-pointer. Will, categories you could choose from. We got the 2000s, 2010s, horror comedies, vampires, and werewolves. What would you like for a 3?
Let's have some fun. Let's do horror comedies.
Horror comedies.
Horror comedies, which could be a Scream movie for 3 points. A horrible chemical accident transforms downtrodden janitor Winston Goose into a new evolution of a hero in town of St. Roma's Village in the town of.
The Toxic Avenger.
That is correct for 3 points. Toxie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
We will take horror comedies out of the pool, that leaving Anthony with 2000s, 2010s, and vampires and werewolves. What would you like for your 3-pointer?
Let's try vampires and werewolves.
Vampires and werewolves it is for 3 points. In the 18th century, a vampire escapes from the freak show where she once participated and teams up with a group of vampire slayers to kill the man who raped her mother. Name that movie.
Yeah, I don't think I can get in this one.
5, 4, 3.
Repeat.
That's your first repeat. In the 18th century, a vampire escapes from the freak show where she once participated and teams up with a group of vampire slayers to kill the man who raped her mother. Name that movie.
I shouldn't have done this.
5, 4, 3.
I'll save my repeats for the 5. I don't know.
This is the one of the 3 Uwe Boll Blood Rain movies. This is the first blood. This is Blood Rain.
Was not going to get that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
And well, so you're down to your 5 points for just 2000s or 2010s. What would you like?
2010s.
2010s for 5. Here we go. Anna suffers from agoraphobia so crippling that when criminals break into her house, she cannot leave. But what the crooks don't realize is that agoraphobia is not her only problem. Name that movie.
this actually sounds familiar, but you're going to say the answer, and I'm going to be like, never heard of this movie.
Five, four,
Repeat.
three. That's your second repeat. Anna suffers from agoraphobia so crippling that when criminals break into her house, she cannot leave. What the crooks don't realize is that agoraphobia is not her only problem. Name that movie. Five, four, three.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste this. Red Rooms. I don't know. Good game.
And your winner, Will Cohen. This movie is just called Intruders. Intruders.
Yeah, nah.
We'll drop Will backstage. We'll talk to him in a second. Anthony, you had the lead going into round 3. I'm sure that's not the position you thought you'd be in. But you did pretty well. Stole stuff from Will. Hard fought battle. How you feeling?
My horror comedy round was not very good, but those are just movies that I've seen once, a lot of them, and just didn't remember the details. I would have done actually really well in the 2000s. All those are movies I like and know fairly well. So that's how I was able to get steals, minus the director one. I'm not going to get that. Round 3 is rough. I tried Vampires Werewolves. I've watched a lot of those recently-ish, so I thought maybe it'd be something in my realm, but Blood Rain is that was fucked up for a 3-pointer. So that was a dickish. And the 5s are always a crapshoot. You have to have seen it. So Will played well. Like, he stole from round 2. We were tied after round 1. Like, both of us just botched our round 2s, but stole from the other one. So kind of made it even. And he hit the horror comedy one for 3. That's probably where I would have went if I had the chance. But he hit it. He got what he needed, and he was able to win. So good for him. He did great. I have nothing to say. It's just luck of the draw. Movies that made
you would have hated the Vampire and Werewolves 5-pointer. I can tell you that much.
Probably.
Anthony, you'll be back soon. Obviously, people are playing to get up to you guys in teams. We'll definitely see you there soon-ish, I'm sure.
Let me enjoy this for as long as I can.
We'll do that. We'll say goodbye to Anthony, one half the team's champions. Bring in the winner today. Moving on in this picture, Will Cohen. Will, how you feeling?
Oh, I cannot wait for you to give me just a load of shit for winning this match. I don't know. I second guess myself every second of the round, like every step of the way in that 2000s round, to the point where it's like every other option I had was the correct answer. And so Anthony did really well. I could have sworn that he was gonna take this. But yeah, that I always have to say the one thing that I will give myself credit for is being able to strategize categories in round 3. I typically know what I need to hit and what I'm going to be good at in round 3. So I'm going to be really sad when this goes away.
Well, we do know who you will be playing next, and we'll get your opinions on it. You are playing the winner of Jack Pinchuk and Chadwick Webb. Do you have a preference?
So if I had to choose a preference, I think I would probably choose Jack Pinchuk. I've never played him out. I don't think I've ever played him one-on-one on anything. And I think that would be a really fun experience. I've played Chadwick one-on-one in a few different places. And so I think that would be really fun. But if I do wind up playing Chadwick Webb, I think that, I think there's going to be some fun there. I have a feeling he's going to pick something that we all dread.
Yeah, he's due for that, I guess. Yeah.
But at the same time, I could probably figure out, I could choose something that I'm really good at.
Like Louisa Warren movies? I
could choose Louisa Warren movies and really over. But either way, I guarantee if I win that match, then John will definitely never shut up.
That being said, well, we're gonna put you backstage and put a bow on this. Aaron, final words on this match.
Yeah, it was a great match. Really, close. And round three, it's to be, in the future it'll be a little different, but still, like
one of the final round 3 matches. Yes.
Yeah, it was a great match.
I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that deciding matches. I feel like there's either people who are very good at it, or there's people who like just hate it, but they're very kind about hating it. So for those people who have been kind to me and hating it suddenly, that will go away.
Yeah, I think we're okay without it.
Yeah, feel that too. That being said, hey, if you made this far in the video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out the Letterboxd challenge at that QR code. We'd love to see you there. Until next time, I'm JWMaher. That's Aaron Brooks. For Asher Brooks. For Orlock and Chico, who showed up in the video if you were paying attention. For Anthony Tisdall and Will Cohen, who played today. This has been Why We Love Horror Trivia. We'll see you next time.